Why is giving knowledge to Salihin? If Allah knows best, then don't think anything. Don't say anything, because Allah knows best. Nobody has the right to say nothing. But Allah gives the knowledge to whomever He pleases. Those ones who are His beloved ones. Those ones that are beloved to Him. Those ones who have submitted themselves to Him. Those ones who are the inheritors of the Prophet ﷺ. Those ones who have sacrificed themselves in the way. Not to scholars, awliya Allah, not to scholars, to friends. Especially scholars these days, they're nothing but the fountains of fitna. So this is Akhir Zaman. Knowledge of the Akhir Zaman. First, you have to know we're living in what era, what time, what date, what situation. There's a situation of complete fitna. So people are interested about Mahdi alayhi salam, but they're not interested to ask about Dajjal. Mahdi is coming up because of what? Because of Dajjal. Isa alayhi salam is coming up because of what? Because of Dajjal. There is going to be a separation, yes, between the believers and unbelievers, not between Christians, Muslims and Jews, and no, between believers, those who believe in Allah, those who believe in a creator, those who believe in holy people, those who believe in holy books, and those who completely don't believe it. They can call themselves whatever, Jews, Christians, or Muslims, but they don't believe it. Believe means you have to live according to that belief. Believe is not just something that you are going to talk about. It's not just something that you're going to do once in a while, like Christians, now Muslims are doing it once a week. Muslims for once a week, or from Bayram to Bayram. They're going to the masjids to pray, to say that we are Muslims. But their whole life, their whole lifestyle, there's nothing that is Islamic about it. There is nothing that pointing to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So, the knowledge of the Akhir Zaman, understanding and believing in Mahdi alayhi salam, very good. But you have to understand and believe of the fitna of Dajjal too. Where is the fitna coming from? Where is it circling around to? How is it circling around? And what you have to do in order to stop it. Otherwise, you're going to get confused by Dajjal that time. It doesn't matter how much you fast, how much you pray, how much you're claiming. But you are going to be on his side. It's finished. Dunya and Akhirat is burned. So many ones were claiming to become Muslims. It means Ahli Tariqat. So many ones. May Allah protect us from that. They may be on the side of batil. Haq is haq and batil is batil. The distinction between the two, it is clear. But in this Akhir Zaman, Dajjal is going to show haq as batil and batil as haq. That they're going to show. So we have to concern ourselves with what is the fitna of the Akhir Zaman. What is the fitna? What is the confusion of this Akhir Zaman that we're living in? Because that is the biggest test that is coming to this nation, isn't it? In this time. It is not how much Arabic you know. It is not how much fiqh you know. It is not how much book knowledge that you know. For right now, it is how much you are going to stop yourself from being confused by the fitna of Dajjal. You have to know that. You have to be taught that. Those ones who are claiming to be sheikhs and leaders, they have to point out, this is the fitna, this is the fitna, this is the poison, this is the poison, this is the poison. Stay far away from it. Now is not the time to be concentrating and jumping and swallowing yourself up with the book knowledge, in which we are seeing in this country. A few years ago, everyone is so excited about, oh, we're making an Islamic madrasa, we're making a, of course they don't like to call it madrasa, because madrasa has connotations. Those ones who are championing Islam in the West, saying that, you see, this is fulfillment, because Prophet ﷺ is saying the sun is going to rise from the West, and we're representing that sun. The sun of Islam is going to come from the West, like it did in Andalusia, mashallah. So much sun rising, 800 years the sun is rising, and Allah completely darkened that sun. And the Christians came and destroyed everything, and dug out even the bodies of the Muslims, and burned them, and changed the masjid that they built into a church. That is not a blessing. That is not Allah saying, it's very good, I'm blessing. It is something that we should be thinking twice about, to say that we did something that is not in the way of Allah, that Allah is punishing us. It is a big punishment. Yeah. So those ones, they're saying, not madrasa, they want to make Islamic institution. Yeah. Higher learning. For what? To train the future generation Islamic leaders in this country, so that they can guide the Muslims in the West. We have to make new ijtihad. We have to open up a new way. We have to open up a new path. We have to say this is minority fiqh. We have to do so many things that is new. 4 doors, 4 ways. It's closed, it's finished. You don't need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing. 4 ways, 4 mazhabs. It is enough until Judgment Day. Even those ones who are saying we're concentrating on the book knowledge, you see them after a while, they got tired. You see them after a while, they sell themselves out, and they decide to just go along with the American system. Before, maybe men and women, they are separated, they are learning on the floor, they are, according to Islamic way, but if the intention is questionable, then the results we're going to see. The results, the consequences is going to be because of the intention. And Islam is also not something which is a museum. Okay, it is not a museum, it is a living religion. There are those ones who are alive. The prophets, they're alive. The saints, they're alive. And they're making Islam to be a living religion. That is, the basic foundations of Islam will never change. But the face, the outside, may shift a little bit here and there, but not the foundations. For example, foundations is separation between men and women. You're never going to change that. But it doesn't matter now on the floor, on the table. It's better on the floor, but sometimes, okay, we understand that. But why you have to now remove the separation? The separation of men and women, for example, it is a key foundation in Islam. They're removing that. Now, they're selling themselves out and say, this is college. This is American college. American college, the young ones, they have to be mixed. They have to talk to each other. They have to socialize. Men and women now, before they're wearing Islamic clothes, they have a curtain in between. The women are wearing hijab. Now you see, completely no parda, completely no curtain. Men and women not only looking at each other, sitting next to each other, no hijab, and speaking about what? Speaking about architecture, medicine, science, no. Holy knowledge, tafsir, hadith, tasawwuf. So that means it is not the way. It is tired. They got tired from it. Those ones who are connected to heavenly sources, they are going to warn the ummah. They're going to warn their people. They're going to warn their followers. What is most important to them? What is most beneficial to them? And what is most important for us to know in this Akhir Zaman is how to escape from the tricks and the traps of Dajjal and Shaitan. How to stay far away from the fitna. How not to touch it. How not to be swallowed. That is important. Because now, yes, the brother is asking a question. Now there is a fitna going around that giving salawats after the azan, is it something that is added or something that is sunnat? I said this is not something new. It's been going on for a long time. But for such a long time, there was no talk about it. Only the past 100 years especially, you sit over there, be comfortable, sit over there. You don't know how to sit. First you have to wear a shalwa to sit like that, sit back. Then you have to keep still, not to be touching. Shaitan is making you to move. When there is a sohbat going on, you don't move. The Sahaba Kiram and the Holy Prophet in sohbat, Hadith Sharif is saying they're sitting so still that a bird can come to sit on their head and they're not going to move. That is when you're going to open up It's not just these words, so many other things that are happening. But if we're not there physically, how our heart is going to be open? You think Islam is magic? It's magic. They say tariqat is magic now. It is not. It is discipline first. So, salawats. You sing. Giving salawats before and after azan, is it something that is a sunnah or something that is a bid'at? Of course, we're never going to do any bid'at. What is a bid'at? A bid'at is that for the past 100 years there is no Khalifa. That is a bid'at. The bid'at is we are all living in bid'at. We're not concentrating on that. The bid'at is Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying 3 days. 3 days there is no Khalifa, there is no Islam. That they don't want to look at because it doesn't serve the interests of the Islamic regimes. It doesn't serve the interests of these kafir regimes. It doesn't serve the interests of the Zionist regimes. It doesn't serve the interests of those ones who are controlling the countries that they're calling themselves Islamic countries. It doesn't matter if they are from the Russia or they are from the West. Same. Kufr. But at least in the West, they still believe in Allah. They still believe in God, isn't it? Some way, somehow, they still believe in a creator. In Russia, they are saying Russia is the hope of Islam. Some scholars, they're saying Russia is the hope of Islam. Russia is going to help Iran and is going to help Islam. Complete fitna. The fitna, it is so ridiculous. It is so embarrassing. But people are believing it. And the one who is saying it is believing it 100%. And is supposed to be a world-renowned scholar. Scholars. A fitna is going to begin from them. Holy Prophet is saying in the Akhir Zaman. And it's going to circle around, it's going to fall on top of their heads. The biggest fitna coming from them, that they are the worst creatures that Allah has ever created under His dome. So, that fitna, that bid'at, is that we do not have a Khalifa. Past 100 years, we don't have a Khalifa. And, yes, what is that Khalifa? What is that Khalifa? Who is that Khalifa represent? The last Khilafat that ruled for over 600 years, the Holy Ottomans, that they are on top of our heads, that every Sultan in the Ottoman dynasty, they are high-level awliya Allah. They achieve high levels, every single one of them. And before that, the Seljuks who came and supported the other Islamic dynasties. Islam is 1400 years. If you calculate, the Ottomans say 700 years. And the Seljuks for a couple of hundred years. Almost 1,000 years. 1,000 years. That Allah has given the secret of Islam and protection to the Turks. The past 600 years that the Ottomans, although they are Turkish, did not make it into a Turkish empire. Not in the way that the Umayyads were making Islam into an Arabic empire. The Abbasis making it to Arabic empire, correct? They ruled everywhere, and they made everyone to speak Arabic. This is open, isn't it? The Iraqis, they are not Arabs. The Egyptians, they are not Arabs. But they controlled those lands. Everyone spoke, everyone started to. But the Ottoman Turks, they did not make the Ottoman dynasty, Ottoman Empire, Ottoman civilization that ruled Islam for 600 years, not for 150 years in the time of the Umayyads, or 200 years in the time of the Abbasis. 600 years. That they can completely change almost all races in this world, and to make them to forget their own language and forget their own identity, and to make them to become Turks by force. But that is not their identity. meaning that they're going to lose their identity the way that almost all Muslim countries, when they denied the Khalifa and they were ruled by the Kafirs, they're still suffering today of what? Identity crisis. I don't know whether I belong to the East or to the West. I speak French, or I speak Arabic, or I speak English, or I speak Urdu, or I speak... If you cannot speak, you cannot think, you cannot communicate, you lose everything. So easy for them to do that. They did not. Because they did not make it into a Turkish empire. It is an Islamic empire. How Holy Prophet ﷺ, he was collecting people from everywhere. And Quran is saying, we made you into different tribes so that you will find each other and exchange ideas and knowledge and learn from each other. So they kept that identities of the people and their religions too. That even the non-Muslims, the Christians and the Jews, they are fighting in Europe, they come and they find peace in the Ottoman lands. That is important. So, of course, if people are concerned about details, not details, these are trivial things that has no importance, then we're going to miss the whole picture. The whole picture is what? We're living in the time of Dajjal. We're living in the time of confusion. We're living in the time of bidat. They're saying this bidat, that bidat, having this is bidat, having everything is bidat, but they're not saying to you that we're living for the past 100 years without a Khalifa. We're living in bidat. Because never before in 1400 years of Islam that the Muslim Ummah is without a Khalifa. Because that Khalifa is representing that Holy Prophet. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq is saying, I'm Khalifa to Rasul. And the Ummah understand. We're rejecting the Khalifa to Rasul. So are we surprised now that people are insulting the Prophet ﷺ? Because we ourselves, we rejected that one who's representing the Khalifa. We rejected the Khalifa to Rasul for 100 years. And we're saying, we don't want the Rasulullah ﷺ. We want our own what? Fathers of nations. Those are the role models. Nationalism has become that. In every Muslim country, they're not going back to the Islamic past. They say that time when we achieve independence from the West, that is the time we start growing. We start becoming ourselves. We start to have our own identity, which means that all the Islamic history that they had, they rejected it. Islam gives you identity. If they want to go back, like in Egypt, like in Iran even, if they want to go back to their past, they don't go back to the Islamic past. They go back to the pre-Islamic past, isn't it? They go back to the pagan past. They go back to the mushrik past. So are we surprised if the Ummah is being punished now? Are we surprised that they're insulting the Holy Prophet ﷺ? We should not be surprised. But the sheikhs and the imams and the leaders, they're not waking up the Ummah to wake up, to understand where we are. First we have to say, we admit we made a mistake. The whole Ummah made a mistake. We cannot say now we're being blessed. We're being punished. Never before we achieved such a low humiliation in 1400 years. We are under the boots, under the foot of the Kafirs. Muslim blood is being spilled everywhere. And we are helpless to do anything. But we're so proud to say we are now 2 billion Muslims. We're proud to say, wow, every day, thousands coming into Islam. We're being proud. We have technology, we have oil money, we have all this. But we could not even defend our Holy Prophet. We cannot. Because we're tied up. We cannot defend the Prophet. We cannot defend Islam. This is the power, this is the pride. This is what Islam has achieved. This is what the Ummah, not Islam. Islam is always high. This is what the Ummah is proud of. Because they are not proud of the Holy Prophet. They say, no, that is backwards. Now we must make modern times. Now, technology. Now we have to chase after it. And the role model is the West. Start from young. Have Western education. Western education system. Have that Darwinism. Have that shaitanic ideas to be put in their head. Then later it doesn't matter. Even if we pray 5 times a day, we already control them. So the bidat that we have been living in for the past 100 years, it will end. It must end. Holy Prophet ﷺ has already said what is going to happen, and we're waiting for it. It is not unknown. It is not unknown. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, after me, there will be Khulafai Rashidin. And after the Khulafai Rashidin, there will be Maliks. After the Maliks come, the kings, there will be Sultans. And after the Sultans, is a time of Jababira. For 100 years, 100 years meaning a span of time, a long span of time. It's not exactly that, 100 years. The Jababira is going to rule for 100 years. And after that, the sultans will come back. Mahdi alayhi salam is going to come. The rightly guided leaders, they are going to now be able to bring Islam back for Islam to rule. Those ones, awliya Allah, they are watching. They are watching the events one by one. And Muslims who are ignorant and arrogant, and they are saying, we are very powerful these times. We have everything in the world. We have technology, we have money, we have education, we have science, we have everything. That they cannot even defend Islam and the Holy Prophet ﷺ. They are hopeless and helpless. And they cannot even defend themselves. During the time of the Ottomans, in the days when the Ottomans were becoming weak, because there are so many betrayers inside the system, so many Masons inside the system, so many ones who say we don't want Islam, but we want Western lifestyle to follow our own egos. In that weak time, one word from the Khalifa, when the West tried to insult the Holy Prophet ﷺ, one word from the Khalifa, not two, they stopped it. When the French wanted to produce a play insulting the Prophet, the Khalifa warned the French. Khalifa Abdul Hamid Khan warned the West, warned the French, don't do that. You are insulting our Prophet, insulting Islam. When they were weak, the French stopped. The British took it. And they want to produce a play, and they were in production to open it. And the Khalifa, Khalifatullah, Khalifatul Rasul, saying, you stop that. And they say, we cannot. Freedom of speech. We already sold the tickets, everything. Everything they are saying, the Khalifa said to them, if you don't stop, I'm going to declare jihad. And every Muslim in every country in this whole world will declare jihad on you to protect the honor of that Holy Prophet ﷺ. The British shivered and they stopped. Now, every day we hear Muslims calling for jihad. Every day we hear jihad, 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 jihad. Especially in the West, they're afraid to say the jihad. But we don't see anything. We don't see any change. We don't see any improvement. We don't see any honor granted to Islam. Because jihad can only be given, can only be issued, can only be ordered by the Khalifa. And there is no Khalifa. We're waiting. We're waiting for that time. We're waiting, and while we're waiting, we're saying, we have bayat with that Khalifa. So, this fitna that is going around, this is a big fitna. Once the Muslims understand the kind of darkness we're living in, that there is no Islam, there's no ruling of Islam, there's no ruling of Shariat. What Shariat? Where? That the Muslim blood, it is very cheap. That they can insult the Prophet ﷺ daily and Muslims can do nothing about it. That so many things are happening to the Muslims and we are powerless. And the scholars, they are spreading so much fitna to take away the faith from the people. That the Muslims themselves, who are wearing those two horns of shaitan on top of their heads, calling themselves Wahhabis. that they are destroying. And they've destroyed so many tombs of prophets and saints and Sahabi Kiram everywhere in the world, and now they're stepping up on it. Yes, we are noticing all of that, but the Muslims are being silent. If anything, they're supporting them. So fitna is happening, and we have to be awake to that, to understand how dangerous situation we're living in. Otherwise, it is like tsunami is coming. The signs are saying the tsunami is coming. And instead of us preparing to go to higher ground, they say, no, now is the time for us to talk about shoes. What kind of shoes we have to wear? Don't wear these shoes. Wear thick leather soles shoes. Don't wear that because it's going to get wet. No, another group says we shouldn't because we're wearing mess. So we have to get a bigger shoes to put the feet that has mess to put into the shoes. The other one said, no, it's better to wear sandals because we don't know, it's going to be hot. Everyone is talking about the tsunami is coming. We have to go to higher ground. What are you doing? How are the leaders saving us to go to higher ground when they're just bickering about all these details, all these things that does not concern them? By the way, to answer the question directly, yes, it is a sunnah. Hazrati Bilal's sunnah. That Holy Prophet ﷺ approved of. Because a sunnah, Muslims are lacking the basic knowledge, is not just what the Prophet said or did, but what he approved of others doing. They're hating Hazrati Muawiyah so much. Because Hazrati Muawiyah, radiallahu an, when he was the muezzin to the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, order was given for them to make salah, namaz. Holy Prophet said, Allahu Akbar, and he said, Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida, Rabbana wa lakal hamd. He was the one who started it, and the Holy Prophet liked it, and said, continue. And that is the sunnah. So many things. Hazrati Bilal, radiallahu an, we're asking support from him. Inshallah. He used to give long salawats, especially in the Fajr time, before he began the azan. So Holy Prophet came, and he called the azan. Salawats after that. Salawats, if you do it 24 hours, it's no bidat. If we do nothing but salawats, our brother here from Syria, that's why you know certain people, they're coming from Holy Lands, that's all they do. They're giving salawats. They eat with salawats, they wake up with salawats, they sit down with everything is a salawat, because you cannot do anything that Allah does. Nothing you can do that Allah is doing because He is the creator. But there's one thing that you can do what Allah and His angels are doing, and that is giving salawats. So this whole argument, this whole evil is they want to cancel out Muhammad Rasulullah. It's all about the Prophet. They say, never mind, leave Allah and Islam because we can control those ones. They're thinking that we can still pray to Allah. We can control those ones. We can change it. They still think they're reaching to Allah. But we have to destroy their love and their connection to the Holy Prophet. It's always been Muhammad Rasulullah. For 1400 years, the mushriks, so many of them, they say, yes, we all believe in Allah. There is one Allah, but there are so many other gods, they're saying. There is one unknown one. But when Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying Muhammad Rasulullah, that's when they turn around and they say this man is a liar. So yes, the Khalifa, Khalifatullah, Khalifatul Rasul, representing the Holy Prophet, they've already gotten rid of. We have already gotten rid of for 100 years, and since then until now the Muslim Ummah can never get up. And we're still under punishment, but we're still being punished for the mistakes, the sins that we have committed to Sultan Abdul Aziz Khan, Jannat Makan. Wait, the Ummah, wait until what we have to pay for what we did to Sultan Abdul Hamid Khan. First punishment is going to come to this Ummah. We're already being punished. And so Hazrati Bilal giving the salawats. We're following that sunnah. Holy Prophet liked it. Giving the salawats is a sunnah of Allah. It is the way of Allah and the angels. So you can do that. Anytime you do that, you can do that. It's okay, especially in these times. They're so worried. They're so concerned, mashallah, as if this is one of the most foundation of our faith. Giving salawats or not giving. If we give too much salawat, it's going to take away our faith. Mashallah, idiot, ignorant, arrogant Muslims. Squareheads. Don't you see everywhere they're insulting the Prophet? The least you can do is give salawats. Why you are stopping people from giving salawats? People are insulting our prophets every day. Sit and make salawat. That's why we are saying if people are gathering in the streets, instead of burning and looting and jumping up and down like senseless, headless people, there is no demonstration and no protest in Islam to begin with. But you want to protest, gather together and say La ilaha illallah. Gather together and make zikr. Gather together and give salawat. Yes, that is permissible. And see what kind of strength Allah is going to give to you then. How you're going to shake the hearts of the unbelievers. Because divine look and divine help, angelic help is going to come to you. They're saying, stop the insult, but they're saying to us, don't praise Prophet. You see what kind of confusion it is happening? Yes, but what these shaitan wahhabis they are saying, oh, they admit to that hadith also. You see how the shaitanic logic that they are using. Not logic. There's no logic to it. Oh, Hazrat Bilal did that because he wanted to wake up Holy Prophet. You heard this? They say, because he was sleeping and it's time, brother, it's time, brother. Brother, it's time, brother. We have to call it now. We have to pray now, brother. So he called the salawats to wake him up. MashaAllah. What idiot. Idiots. So, leave that. We're not going to enter into fights with them. You ask this question, it is to you, I'm saying. I'm not going to pick a fight with them. They listen, don't listen, who cares? Lakum dinukum waliyad din. Yes, in the first Jahiliyyah, that ayat is to unbelievers. And now in the second Jahiliyyah, it is to those ones who are saying we're Muslims. To you, your religion, and to me, mine. Because it's a completely different religion. We don't know what kind of religion you've made Islam into. This religion that is putting aside the Holy Prophet. So, we have to wake up and we have to understand the poisons that is coming to us. And don't be weak Christian type Muslims who say, brother, please, this is too much hatred. Just love everyone. Just embrace everyone. Please, just unite. Allah wants us to unite. Don't fight with each other. It's already enough fighting. We're not fighting. We're sitting down here. We are enjoying our faith. And people are attacking us and saying we're Ahli Bidat, Ahli Kufr, Ahli Shirk, Ahli Haram, isn't it? We're not saying that to the Wahhabis. We can. We can say that you want to destroy the tomb of the Prophet. You're already of a higher category than Bidat, Kufr, Haram, and Shirk. You destroyed the tombs of his parents. That even the mushrik, they dare not do that because that is the most dishonorable thing that they could do. When they were at war with the Holy Prophet, they said, okay, just to hurt him, let's destroy the tombs of his parents. They said, no, what are you saying? You lost everything, you lost humanity, you lost complete honor. They were mushriks and they had honor. Look at the Muslims now. Look at those ones calling themselves custodians of the holy places. They are destroying and they are fulfilling the prophecies of the Holy Prophet. He's saying that Akhir Zaman, you're going to see barefoot, naked Bedouins from the deserts, and they're racing to build high, tall buildings in the deserts, changing the landscape of the desert, in Mecca and Medina. And they are proud to say that. Holy Prophet is saying they're going to build buildings that resembles the teeth of a dog, sharp. And they're proud to say that. Now we have. They're proud to say, yes, this is the new Las Vegas. This is the new Times Square. Muslims must go there to shop. Muslims must go there, quickly do tawaf and to shop and to stay in timeshare apartments, high, tall, so that when they're praying, the Kaaba is right at their feet so they can step on it, where it is forbidden to build buildings higher than 3 stories. believing. Which are the Muslims that is interested in this? They're interested in, brother, no, don't call salawat. It is bid'ah. Senseless, brainless, heedless, headless Muslims. So, we have to wake up. This is important. This is not unimportant. This is not something that we can say, no, this doesn't concern us. It concerns us. It concerns our children. It concerns our faith. It concerns the Prophet. It concerns his Sahaba. It concerns his Ahlul Bayt. It concerns the rightly guided ones. It concerns the Sahaba Kiram. It concerns the Tabi'in. Because they destroyed all the tombs. They destroyed the tombs of the Ahlul Bayt. They destroyed the tombs of the Sahaba Kiram. They destroyed the tomb of Hazrati Hamza, radiallahu anhu. Hazrati Hamza, that Holy Prophet ﷺ was so proud of him, so happy with him. That Holy Prophet used to go there every Jummah to visit with his uncle, to sit and to talk. Because those who are slain in the way of Allah do not think that they are dead. They are fresh and alive in their grave, but he perceived it not. They're saying this is shirk to go there, to talk to dead people, and they leveled it and they make it into what? A parking lot? The blessed house of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, they turned it from time to time into a library, into a public toilet, into everything, everywhere that the Prophet touched that is holy, that is the holiness, that his blessings is coming down. They're turning that completely into what? Now shopping malls. Oh, what kind of blessings now? Muslims were so proud to say, well, I went to Hajj 7 times, I went to Umrah 11 times. What kind of blessings now they're going to get? Going there blindly and not caring. Their heart is not stirring to go and to buy Victoria's Secrets. They are doing that. Understand. Now understand and say that those ones are custodians of these holy places. They are representing Islam. Or they're representing Dajjal. Yes. So dig a little bit, think and understand. Once you understand that, then you're going to be careful and you're going to be concerned with things that only gives you benefit. Concerned with only knowledge that is going to give benefit. That is only going to concern you. Otherwise, we will be questioned. We will be questioned in the day of judgment. We will be questioned why we are on the side of Dajjal. Because this is their system now. So yes, all ummah is in this humiliating position because we remove the sword of Allah. We've removed the Khalifa of the Prophet. We've removed that Khalifatullah that is protecting us, that is able to, in their most troubled and weakest times, to defend not only the Muslims, but also the honor of the Prophet ﷺ. That one was even in his weak state physically, that Khalifa, when a letter came from Medina to Munawwara, he used to stand up for the sake of that Prophet ﷺ. He said, we are receiving a letter who is a neighbor to the Prophet. How we must sit down. Of course, Muslims now, they say that it's shirk to stand up. They say it is bid'ah to stand up. They say it is bid'ah now to stand up for holy people, to stand up for scholars, to stand up for awliya Allah, to stand up, but they stand up for the president, of course. If they're invited to go to the White House, invited to go to the governor's office, invited to all these dinners where the kafir is coming and everyone is standing up, they're standing up. Number one, they're going to stand up. Not only they're going to stand up, they're going to take away all the Islamic clothes, wear suit and a tie. But for the sake of the Prophet, they will not. Our grandshah, Sultan al-Awliya, may Allah increase his station and grant him long life and strong life. When he made that conference, the unity conference, and when he came, this was years ago, 1999, when he came to give a talk, everyone who are his murids, or in Ahl Sunnat way, or having respect and love in their hearts for manners, they stood up, because he's an old man coming. He was over 70 years old that time. He was walking, they stood up, but the Wahhabis said, no, was sitting down. They say because it is forbidden to stand up. Our grandchildren say, one time there was a janazah of a Jew that was passing by in Medina, and Holy Prophet ﷺ stood up. Sahabe Kiram then stood up for the sake of that dead Jew. He says, I think I'm a little better than a dead Jew. And he said, but these ones, they're standing up because of their love and their respect, because I'm an old man. So, lost basic manners, basic understanding, basic knowledge, common sense in the Muslims, lost completely. Yes, Inshallah Rahman, we are praying for that Sahibul Zaman to come soon. But until he comes, we have to protect ourselves and keep ourselves clean and make ourselves to be far away from the fitna, not for it to enter into us and to make confusion. Otherwise, when he comes that time, there's a big possibility that we're going to reject him. May Allah keep us far away from that. But yes, many calling themselves Muslims will turn their backs against it and say that this is Mecca. We're expecting someone else. Same way when Holy Prophet ﷺ came into this world, and they said, this one, we know him. The mushrik saying, this one is just a camel herder. Okay, he's all right, but this one? The Mujahil is saying, it should be me. Because I have all the power, I have all the wealth, I have all the influence, I have all the people, I have all the land. Don't you know I can speak to the Caesar and the emperor and everyone knows me? So many now, they're saying, don't you know, it should be me. Don't you know I'm talking to Bush, I'm talking to Obama, I'm talking to Putin, I'm talking to everyone, it should be me. They're looking for that chair. No, no, no. He came and he veiled. He's going to come back, Inshallah Rahman. May Allah keep our faith strong and secure in this Sirat al-Mustaqim, and not for it to move an inch, not let weakness to enter. May Allah forgive me and bless all of you for the sake of our Shaykh Effendi, for the sake of Sahib al-Saif, Sharif al-Qudus Ya Rabbani, for fitna to leave our association, for us to become strong and for us to grow, inshallah, for sincere people to come and to sit in the association of our Shaykh and to take the light from it. ومن الله التوفيق ومات الحبيب ومات الفاتح.